My guest tonight ought to give us something to talk about. Please welcome, just in the nick of time, great musician and 7-time Grammy winner, Bonnie Raitt. Bonnie. Now, I know you're a big ecology prayer. A lot of that was tongue-in-cheek.
I thought it was fantastic.
Well,
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, very sweet. Now, what do you see as number one? Everybody has their thing that they're scared of. What's the number one threat to the ecology of this planet in your eyes? What do you think's the worst problems? Water, the air?
Well, lately, the nuclear testing thing, I think, is probably the most threatening problem we have on the Earth, and I'm real happy that today Clinton actually stood his ground, which is nice considering his record on the environment. And said comprehensively no testing. So
unfortunately, Bill Clinton stands on ground that is a slow-moving glacier, and I have no doubt that eventually...
it's a process, as they would say. But I think that this business with the French threatening to, the whole idea of nuclear power and nuclear weapons at this point is such a ridiculous situation that I think we're going to have to focus on it, whether we like it or not, because at this point the threat of plutonium, we've got more than we need. It's billions of dollars that we don't need to spend. So I would say that's one, and the big polluting companies who don't realize that it's good business to be in harmony with the environment instead of fighting it. And frankly, they'd rather pay their lobbyists and lawyers to fight regulations than to pay the engineers to switch over to more non-polluting ways. So I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, right. Wow. So, what do you people like pro-Earth? But before we move on, where the fuck do the French get off threatening anybody? All right, now...
Exactly.
What are you going to threaten me with? You won't bathe? Hello, that ship sailed. Now, I think I see a way to make everybody happy. It almost seems to me that you're going to have to make it profitable for big businesses to get in the save the planet thing.
It is.
Isn't that the only...
I think in Europe they're already doing that. I mean, the fact is that companies like 3M and Ben & Jerry's are proving that, the people actually across all the polls, all the major polls, even in America, have said that people don't want to stop regulating the environment. And it's just the oil companies and timber and nuclear industries that have bought Congress, basically, and they're the ones that are throwing 20 years of environmental legislation out the window. So I don't think we're going to stand for it. And it is good business to be environmentally sound, and they'll figure it out eventually.
Now, you mentioned the Prez earlier. I thought he and Gore were going to do more for this, didn't you?
Tell me about it,
Yeah.
I mean...
Especially Gore. I thought Gore would just embarrass him into doing more stuff, because Gore's out there.
He's got a book out.
He's schlepping that book, man, like...
Well, I mean,
Jackie Suzanne. I thought he was definitely.
Definitely. They got elected by a lot of environmentalists working really hard, and there's a lot of people in Congress and the Senate that went down because of the situation of him turning his back on things that he promised. Ward Valley here in California, they're threatening to, the Babbitt okayed federal funds for a nuclear waste site.
The guy who had his
20
Johnson
miles from
cut
the
off?
Colorado. No, different guy.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
guy who didn't have a Johnson to begin with.
The night is young, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think he's turned his back on a lot of promises, and it's time for him to, fess up if he wants anybody like us to be working for him for the next election.
But doesn't it seem like a never-ending game in some regards? Don't
Politics,
they all?
you mean?
Don't they all whip it out like a calling card to get the vote of the good-minded liberal people in this country, and then as soon as they get elected, they seem to just
power corrupts, it appears. I mean, he's trying to do the right thing, and he's stood his ground on this nuclear thing. Let's see, he's still got some time left, but he better get on the stick, as they say.
Are you friends with Ed Begley?
Yeah.
Ed's committed to this stuff, isn't
yeah,
he?
he is.
I hear he
Drives
took
around
Annette
electric
Bening
car.
to the Oscars in a solar car.
Yeah.
That's my favorite image. She must have been so pissed off, Ed whipping up in that absent-minded professor car, and she's just, fuck, I gotta go marry Warren Beatty. All right, we got some phone calls. Line one, we got Gigi from New York City. Gigi?
Hi. First of all, you are my moondoggie of the Time Tunnel. Okay, I think you're totally cool.
I hope that's a compliment. Thank you, baby.
Absolutely. And Bonnie, I think you're absolutely totally underrated as a slide guitarist. I think you're just really
Thank
amazing.
you. Where should I look to thank Gigi?
Oh, New York City. I'm calling from New York.
Red light.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate
New
it.
York.
And
So
also, speaking of underrated, I saw you years ago at the Oxford Ale House with Alex Taylor, who was James Taylor's
Wow,
brother,
yeah.
who was a great, great songwriter.
Great
and,
singer, too.
Yeah, and he, you also with Delbert McClinton and Jackson Brown and all these people. Who else do you think are underrated now, today, as songwriters?
Ecologically.
Underrated. I think ecologically, I would say, well, a couple of people that I know, a lot of musicians love. Richard Thompson, he's been around for years and years. One of the greatest writers we have from Paul Brady, a great Irishman. And Delbert, come on, the guy's the baddest thing. You can have Michael Bolton, we'll take Delbert, you know what I mean?
Line 2, we got John from Dodge City. I can't believe there's actually a Dodge City, Kansas. John?
Wow.
Where are you, with Milburn Stone over at the Long Branch, baby?
Hey, I tell you what, I've been there before, and it actually does exist.
All right.
First of all, I love your show, and Bonnie, I really like your music. My question is, for probably both of you, how do you think the Clinton administration's making out on their environmental policy in the face of the opposition from Newt and the rest of the Republicans?
All right, how much, Newt Gingrich has become like this catch-all for everybody. What do you think of him in this area? Is he...
He's probably to that side of politics what Jerry Garcia was to that side of counterculture. He's a talisman of what could be, I don't know how many people he speaks for, but he's certainly got a lot of money in his pocket from companies that stand to gain a lot by keeping these regulations, throwing them out the window and doing whatever the hell they want to the environment. So I think it's time for us, who put we didn't spend all these years getting this ground laid, pardon the expression, I don't mean laid, I mean the groundwork for all these, all
There's
this
some
stuff
big stiff trees in the forest,
Yes,
Bonnie.
that's what I was going to say, and there's wood and then there's wood. I mean, I just...
If an erection falls in the forest...
I'll be there to check it out.
Line 3, we've got Michelle from Woodridge, Illinois. Mitch?
Hi.
What's happening?
Dennis, I've always thought of you as a very opinionated man.
Yes.
I'm sure you feel the same.
Thank you.
Do you feel you're able to get your views across easier and that they might be more acceptable using a more comedic approach rather than a serious tone, as most politicians in your view?
I'm doing a comedy show here, baby.
Well,
Just because you don't have the cliff notes. I don't know what that means. This is a comedy show. You think I'm being too serious?
No, I don't mean that. I just think more people might be more acceptable of your opinions and other people's opinions about the environment and such if you put it in a more comedic approach.
All right. I'm going to conserve something here and cut you off, all right? Thank you. All right. I don't even know what she meant. I thought the show was funny up to this point. See, now that's how you get inside my head. Yeah, you can call up and say, fuck you, Dennis. I'm fine with that. But now I'm thinking, have I not been funny? I got to do the news. Nice hand for Bonnie Raitt. Bonnie, can you stick around? All right.